And now, the general weather around Alaska. Hi, I'm Peter Chan, National Weather Service Program Lead of the Alaska Weather Show, and I have a very important change notice to share with you. If you haven't already heard, the last TV broadcast of Alaska weather, at least in the traditional sense, over the airwaves, will be on Friday, June 30th. Starting on July 1st, the National Weather Service will provide a modified web-based version of the program on a new YouTube channel. We will be moving on YouTube from the Alaska Public Media site to @NWS Alaska, so you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel ahead of time. A public comment period remains open through July 30th, so please send your comments and concerns to nws.service-changecomments@noaa.gov. If you have any additional questions, you may reach carrie.haisley@noaa.gov and donald.moore@noaa.gov. We thank you for your patience and understanding.
Hello again, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for this Sunday show of Alaska weather. Up first here on the fire danger chart for grass, pretty good here through most of the area. You got some high or medium areas here to the west, a couple of bands out there on toward, actually right down to the eastern Norton Bay coast, eastern Norton Sound coast there. Otherwise, some spotty areas just north of the Alaska Range. And again, this is a forecast for tomorrow of high to very high fire danger, but not too bad actually. But the upper Yukon Valley area, that's still the worst fire danger in the state, with some extreme now showing back up for tomorrow there up in that area. And maybe some high fire danger in a small area there in the central Copper River Basin areas, and then medium down over the southern southeast coast. And for spruce, pretty good out here over most of the state, western to central interior. Some high fire danger for spruce there in the Tanana Valley area, and then just north of the Alaska Range and that central Copper River Basin area. But by far the heaviest fire danger, the highest fire danger is up there in the Yukon Flats. Very high to extreme, again, for spruce up in those areas. And from there, looking at the hazards weather graphic, shaded area here along the Alaska Range, that's they're still under the influence of a wind advisory that's been out since midnight last night and will remain out through this evening, for scheduled to end at midnight tonight. And that's for 20 to 30 mile an hour southerly winds with gusts 50 to 65 miles an hour. And Delta Junction had a peak wind gust about 64 miles an hour today, so I was pretty much right on the button there as far as the forecast for yesterday went. And that due to this strong front moving northward here, bringing the gusty winds with it. 70 mile an hour wind gusts at Portage Lake recorded there, and anywhere from 30 to 50 mile an hour winds across areas of south central Alaska with that system holding up. And some rain now pushing into the eastern North Gulf Coast and the Panhandle. Rain today at over toward Juneau. Main low pulled back to the west here. And so this front really weakening as it moves northward, and some moisture tracking eastward there along the eastern Arctic coast, but nothing too significant. Excuse me, there. And a lot of clouds though out over the Bering Sea, but some breaks on the south side of this front. Had some breaks here over Cook Inlet. And areas of the Copper River Basin, Gulkana, seeing wind gusts out of the south to 45 miles an hour. And breaking out, temperatures up in the mid to upper 70s this afternoon, north of the Alaska Range there, and on into the Yukon Valley. And some more sunshine here, especially over the central and western North Slope. And rolling that again, see the main low here kind of pulling back to the west, crossing the Alaska Peninsula last night. And as the front pulls eastward here, of course, that weakens the front, getting away from the main low center, but still holding together enough to put some rain in, brought about an inch of rain to Kodiak Island as it passed through. Pretty dry day, especially earlier today. Pretty nice conditions, drier conditions following in as that spread up into southern Alaska, but still a lot of clouds around. And the gusty winds here through south central Alaska, actually all the way out to the southwest coast and up to the Alaska Range. Scattered thunderstorm activity developing again here over the interior areas, but not so much. Pretty dry, more stable over the eastern interior up to the Yukon Flats, and some fog along the Arctic coast And this low, about 992 millibars, keeping areas of showers here over much of the central and eastern Bering Sea, down into the Aleutians, kind of a trough here, a little bit of an enhancement of the precipitation there. And for tonight, that front kind of stalls out and weakens in place here, but keeps some light rain going over the northern southeast coast. Cloudy skies with chance of showers. Southern areas there. Weak low develops on that frontal boundary there to the southwest, but quite weak, 1,010 millibars. Weak high pressure builds in. That's going to really lighten the winds up, continue to drop the winds off here for the North Gulf Coast, south central Alaska area. Stays a little breezy out here with a little bit more gradient, and a couple of troughs rotating up, keeping it showery and breezy with light rain, fog, and drizzle. Kodiak Island trying to push in mainly the southwest part of the island, and then showers out here with this low over the Pribilof Island areas. Otherwise, low clouds and fog with some higher pressure over the western Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And then the remnants of that front here really breaking up, and just some showers as that pushes up toward the Brooks Range, extending down in across Kotzebue Sound, Seward Peninsula there into the Bering Strait, St. Lawrence Island this evening. Low clouds and fog along or off the Arctic coast. And moving on to tomorrow. Again, partly to mostly sunny to start, and then as the day wears on, those clouds will build up and probably will trigger some thunderstorm and shower activity scattered around the central interior. And remnants of that front kind of hung up there along the panhandle for continued cloudy and chance of rain, but drier down to the south. Chance of showers Kodiak Island, chance of showers Alaska Peninsula, Bristol Bay, southern Kuskokwim Valley. Chance of showers mainly over the mountainous terrain of south central Alaska. And then for Tuesday, we'll see that low slides a little to the southeast there, picks up a little more moisture here for showers and rain for the Aleutians. Another front develops, weak front for some rain into Kodiak Island, scattered thunderstorms over the central interior, dry to the east and dry to the west of that, out into the Bering Sea, and a dry day for the Panhandle after early morning low clouds and fog. Lows tonight in the 50s, some areas in the upper 40s, mostly in the 50s though. Highs tomorrow, upper 50s to upper 60s, maybe near 70 for the northern Panhandle around Haines and Copper River Basin, Gulkana, Glen Allen, Copper Center. Lows 40s to lower 50s, followed by highs on Tuesday near 70 for the Copper River Basin area, 65 to 70, except upper 50s along the coast for the Panhandle. Up to the north, lows 40s and 50s, lower 30s for the Arctic coast, upper 30s for the Bering Strait. Highs 70 to 75, Yukon Flats down to about Eagle, and upper 60s to lower 70s for the mid and upper Tanana Valley to about North Wyandotte. Lower 40s to lower 50s for the Arctic coast, followed by lows 40s and 50s, still in the 30s for the Arctic coast, followed by highs 70 to 75, give or take there in the central and eastern interior areas. And down to the southwest, lows in the 40s for the Aleutians, lower 40s, mid 40s for the Alaska Peninsula area, followed by highs for tomorrow in the lower 50s, Pribilof, southwest coast, upper 40s, lower 50s for the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula area, and then lows about the same, lower 40s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, and then followed by highs in the upper 40s, lower 50s.